My name is Sam Badmus. One minute, I was standing under bright stage lights in Lagos with people clapping my name. The next minute, I woke up on a hard floor in a room that smelled like old smoke and cold noodles. My head was pounding. My throat was dry. My suit was gone. I tried to sit up, but my arm hit a cracked wall. The ceiling was low and stained. A small fan above me was not working. I blinked fast. "Where is my room in Ikoyi?" I whispered. A baby cried somewhere nearby. A generator hummed outside. And then I heard a loud knock on a metal door. "Uche, open this door now. If you don't pay today, you will carry your things and leave." I froze. Uche was the name of my driver, but the voice was calling me Uche. I crawled to the door, my heart beating like a drum. My fingers touched the lock. Then I saw my own hands. They looked rough. The nails were broken. The skin was darker than mine. I stared at my wrists like they belonged to a stranger. "No," I said, shaking my head. "No, no, no." The knock came again, harder. "Open!" I backed away, breathing fast. On the floor beside me there was a small wallet. I grabbed it quickly like it could explain everything. Inside was a torn card. Uchi Kingsley. I dropped the wallet like it burned me. That was when the room spun and my mind dragged me back to the moment everything began. Because yesterday morning, I was still Sam Badmus, the millionaire boss everybody in Lagos wanted to meet. And I was about to walk onto a stage that would change my life. I built my name in Lagos with clean shirts, sharp words, and cold decisions. People called me Boss Sam, the way they say sir to someone they fear. I owned Badmus Logistics, and my office sat in Victoria Island with glass walls and quiet air. Even the floor looked like it had money. My assistant, Rita Vaughn, was always 2 steps behind me with a tablet in her hand and worry in her eyes. That morning, she followed me into my office as I adjusted my cufflinks. "Sir," she said, careful, "your blood pressure readings from last week." "I'm fine," I cut in. She didn't stop. "The doctor said you should rest. The Lagos Business Summit is a lot. Cameras, lights, noise." I turned and looked at her. "Rita," I said, slow and firm, "do you know what makes people respect you?" She swallowed. "Results?" "Power," I said, "and power does not rest." Her eyes dropped to the floor. That was how it always went. People warned me. I ignored them, because I had worked too hard to listen to fear. But that same morning, something strange happened. A man I did not know walked into my reception area and asked for me by name. Rita came in quickly. "There's someone outside, sir," she whispered. "He says it's important. He refused to book an appointment." I sighed. "Send him in. 2 minutes." The man entered like he had been there before. He was not dressed in a suit. He wore a neat brown shirt and black trousers. His shoes were clean but old. His hair was low. His face was calm. Too calm. "Good morning, Mr. Badmus," he said. I didn't offer my hand. "Who are you?" He smiled a little. "Just someone who came to remind you." "Remind me of what?" He looked around my office. The leather chairs, the framed awards, the expensive watch on my table. Then he looked straight into my eyes. "Money can move fast," he said. "It can enter a house like a king and leave like smoke." I leaned back in my chair. "Are you here to beg?" His smile stayed, but his eyes did not. "No," he said. "I am here to warn you." "About what?" He took 1 step closer. "About the people you stepped on," he said. "About the ones you forgot." My jaw tightened. "Get out," I said. Rita moved toward the door quickly. "Sir, I'll call security." But the man raised one hand gently. "I will go," he said, "but I will say this first." He pointed at my chest. "Your name will still be Sam Badmus," he said softly, "but your life will not." I laughed once, loud and sharp. "Is that a threat?" He didn't answer. He simply turned and walked out. Rita stared after him. "Should I report this?" I stood up and straightened my jacket. "Report nonsense?" I said. "Forget him." But for the first time in a long time, I felt something crawl under my skin. Not fear, not guilt. Something worse. A feeling like my life was sitting on a table and somebody else was about to flip it. The Lagos Business Summit was held in a grand hall on the island. Bright lights, big screens. people taking pictures like the room was made of gold. When I arrived, my friend Amika Sterling met me near the back entrance. Emeka was the kind of man who smiled even when he wanted to fight. He pulled me into a quick hug. "Sam," he said, "the big boss, you're late." "Traffic," I replied. He leaned close. "Are you okay? You look tense." "I'm fine." Emeka studied my face. "You sure? You've been acting strange lately." I walked past him. "Today is not the day for talk." He followed. "You know," he said, "there are rumors." I stopped. "What rumors?" He lowered his voice. "That you cheated people to get your last contract. That some workers have not been paid in months." My chest got hot. "Who told you that?" "People talk," Amika said quickly. "That's Lagos. I'm just saying, be careful. When people are hungry, they don't care how big your gate is." I stared at him. "I paid what I owed," I lied. Emeka's face changed. He didn't look convinced. Before he could speak again, Rita rushed to my side in her neat black dress. "Sir, you're on in 5 minutes," she said. "They want you behind the curtains." I nodded and walked. As I moved, I noticed something that made my steps slow. At the front row near the stage, I saw a man in a brown shirt, the same man from my office.
We must act now. The future awaits us. They can overcome any obstacle. Let's embrace this challenge. The time is now.
I turned to Rita. "Who invited him?" Rita blinked. "Invited who, sir?" "The man in brown," I said. She looked. "I don't know him." My mouth went dry. The hall suddenly felt too hot, too loud. As I stepped behind the curtain, the host's voice boomed through the speakers. "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the CEO of Badmus Logistics, the man changing business in Nigeria, Mr. Sam Badmus." The crowd clapped. The lights hit my face. I walked out with a smile that did not feel like mine. I stood at the podium. A big screen behind me showed my name and picture. I began to speak. "At Badmus Logistics," I said, "we believe in growth, discipline, and excellence." My eyes moved on their own, searching the crowd. The man in brown was still there. He raised his hand slowly and held up something small, a photo. Even from the stage, I saw it clearly. It was an old picture of me, not in a suit, not in an office. Me, young, skinny, standing beside my father in a small workshop, a time I had buried deep. My breath caught. My hands gripped the podium. My chest squeezed like an invisible rope was tightening around it. The hall noise faded. The lights became sharp knives in my eyes, and then, right there on stage, in front of everyone, my legs went weak. Rita's voice sounded far away. "Sir? Sir?" I tried to speak, but only air came out. My heart banged once, hard. Then everything went black. I don't know how long I was gone, but when I opened my eyes, there was no stage, no lights, no applause. Just a hard floor under my back, a cracked wall, a dead fan, a loud knock, and a voice shouting through a metal door. "Uche, open up now!" I stared at the torn card on the floor again. Uche Kingsley. My mouth shook. "That's not my name," I whispered. Then I heard footsteps outside, fast and angry, and someone else said, close to the door, "If he doesn't open, break it. He's been hiding since morning." My blood ran cold, because whoever they were not coming to greet me. They were coming to drag me out. The knocking on the metal door stopped. That silence was worse than the noise. I held my breath and stayed still, sitting on the cold floor with my back against the wall. My heart was beating so loud I was sure the people outside could hear it. "Uche," a man's voice said again, closer now. "We know you're inside." I looked around the tiny room. A thin mattress lay on the floor. A plastic chair stood near a small table with an empty cup. A mirror hung crooked on the wall. I crawled toward the mirror. The face that looked back at me was not Sam Badmus. It was a man with tired eyes, rough skin, and a thin beard. He looked older than me, poorer, broken. "That's not me," I whispered. "That can't be me." The door rattled. "Open up!" another voice shouted. I didn't think. I just moved. I pushed the mattress against the door and stepped back. My hands were shaking. My mind was screaming one name, Rita. If I could reach Rita, she would know what to do. She always did. I searched the small table and found a cheap phone. The screen was cracked. I turned it on. There was no lock. Dozens of missed calls stared back at me. Most were from a name saved as landlord, but one name stood out. Rita Vaughn. My heart jumped. I tapped her name. The phone rang once, twice, 3 times. "Hello?" she answered. "Rita," I said fast. "It's me." There was a pause. "Who is this?" "It's Sam," I said. "Sam Badmus." Another pause, longer this time. "Is this a joke?" she asked. "No," I said. "Listen to me. I don't know how, but I woke up in another man's body. I think someone did this to me. I collapsed on stage and—" "Sir," she cut in, her voice tight, "Sam Badmus is in a private hospital in Ikoyi. He has not woken up since yesterday." My throat went dry. "What?" "He is on life support," she continued. "Doctors say his brain is not responding." "That's me," I whispered. "That's my body." Silence filled the line. "You don't sound like him," she said slowly. "I know," I said, "but I remember everything. Your first day at work, the green pen you always use, the way you hide sweets in your desk." Her breath caught. "How do you know that?" "Because I am Sam," I said. Before she could answer, the door shook hard. "Break it," someone shouted. I pulled the phone closer. "Rita, I don't have time. You have to come to where I am. You have to see me." "Where are you?" she asked, her voice shaking now. I looked around again. A piece of paper lay on the table. I grabbed it. It had an address. "Number 14, Sheena Street, Mushin." I read. "Mushin?" she repeated. "Sam, that's a slum." "I know," I said. "Just come." The door burst open with a loud crash. 2 men rushed in. One grabbed my shirt. "Uche, you think you can hide from us?" I dropped the phone. "Rita!" I shouted. The call ended. They dragged me outside. People stood around watching like it was a movie. Children stared. A woman shook her head. "Pay your rent," one of the men said. 3 months. "You think this is free?" "I don't have money," I said. They laughed. "Since when?" They pushed me to the ground. Pain shot through my arms. As I lay there, I looked up and saw a familiar face in the small crowd. It was Amika Sterling. He stood near a parked car, staring at me with wide eyes. "Amika," I shouted. "It's me." His mouth opened. "Sam?" Hope flared inside me. Before he could move, someone pulled him back into the crowd. And just like that, he was gone. I was alone again. They left me on the ground and walked away, warning me to pay by evening. I slowly stood up, dust on my clothes, my body aching. I had no money, no house, no proof, just a name that was not mine, and a body that was not mine. But someone had seen me. Emeka had seen me, and I knew he would not forget that face, not when it called his name. I walked away from Sheena Street with my head down. People brushed past me like I did not exist. A bus splashed dirty water near my feet. Hawkers shouted. Life moved on, even though my own had broken. I kept thinking about Emeka. He had looked shocked. He had known it was me. That meant I still had one person in this city who might believe me. I walked for a long time until my legs hurt. I did not know where to go, but I knew where Emeka worked, Sterling Group Towers. I had been there many times as Sam Badmus, but now, as Uche Kingsley, I was just another poor man in worn clothes. When I reached the tall glass building, security stopped me at once. "Where are you going?" one of them asked. "To see Emeka Sterling," I said. He laughed. "You?" "Yes." "Go back," he said. "This is not a place for people like you." Anger burned in my chest, but I swallowed it. "Please," I said, "just tell him Sam Badmus is here." The guard frowned. "Sam Badmus is in a hospital." "I know," I said. "Just tell him." The guard hesitated, then picked up his phone. 5 minutes later, Amika came rushing out of the building. When he saw me, he stopped. "Sam," he whispered, "is it really you?" I nodded. "Yes." He pulled me into a quiet corner. "You collapsed on stage," he said. "They said it was a stroke. Your body's not waking up." "I woke up somewhere else," I said. "In this body." He looked at me closely. "You know my mother's name?" he asked. "Grace Sterling," I replied. She sells books. His eyes widened. You know the joke we made about my bad singing? You sing like a goat, I said. He laughed once, then covered his mouth. This is not possible, and he said. But it is happening, I replied. Before he could say more, a black car pulled up in front of the building. The door opened. Rita stepped out. Her eyes searched until they found me. She froze. Sam, she whispered. I stepped forward. It's me. She walked closer, slowly, like I might disappear. You told me the green pen, she said softly. You told me about the sweets. I told you more things only I would know, I said. Tears filled her eyes. Your voice, she said. Your eyes, they are different. But the way you stand, it's you. I let out a long breath. Emeka looked between us. Someone did this to you, he said. Someone powerful. Rita nodded. That man in brown. He was at the summit. I saw him again this morning near the hospital. My chest tightened. Where? I asked. Outside Sam's room, she said. He was talking to a doctor. What doctor? I don't know, she replied. But he smiled when he saw me. Fear crept up my spine. He is not done, I said. We heard footsteps. 2 men in dark suits walked toward us. They looked sharp and cold. One of them spoke. Mr. Sterling, our boss would like a word. Emeka stepped back. Who is your boss? The man you saw yesterday, the other said. The one in brown. Rita grabbed my arm. Run, she whispered. But it was too late. They moved fast. One grabbed Emeka. The other reached for me. I struggled, but this body was weak. You should not have woken up, the man said in my ear. They pushed me toward the black car. Rita screamed my name. Sam! The door slammed shut. As the car pulled away, I saw her face through the window. Tears, fear, and a truth that hurt more than anything. Someone had planned all of this, and now they were coming to finish it. The black car moved fast through Lagos. I was pressed between 2 men in dark suits. Their faces were hard and quiet, like stone. My hands were tied with a thin rope that cut into my skin. I tried to speak, but one of them raised a finger to his lips. Be calm, he said. You will soon meet the man who owns your fate. My heart jumped. The car turned off the main road and entered a quiet area with tall gates and wide houses. This was not Mushin. This was not a place for poor people. The car stopped in front of a white building with gold lines on the walls. They pulled me out. Inside, the air was cool and clean. The floor shone. A large painting of Lagos hung on the wall. We walked down a long hallway. At the end of it, I saw him, the man in the brown shirt. He stood by a table, pouring tea into a glass cup like this was a simple day. Sam Badmus, he said without turning around. Or should I say, Uche Kingsley? My stomach turned. What do you want from me? I asked. He finally faced me. His eyes were calm, too calm. I want justice, and he said, and I want balance. Balance? I snapped. You stole my life. He smiled. No, I returned something that was stolen. He waved his hand. A screen on the wall came on. It showed workers in a warehouse, thin, tired, sweaty. I knew that place. That is my old warehouse in Apapa, I said. Your, he repeated softly. Yes, where people worked without pay, where promises were broken. I shook my head. I paid them. Not all, he said. You paid the ones who spoke loud. You forgot the quiet ones. The screen changed. I saw a young man fall to the floor while lifting a heavy box. My chest tightened. That is my brother, the man said. His name was Kingsley. The name hit me like a slap. Uche Kingsley, I whispered. Yes, he said. My brother. He worked for you. He begged for his pay. He got nothing. Then he died from pain and hunger. I could not speak. So, he continued, I found a way to let you feel what he felt, to let you wake up with nothing. My knees felt weak. You took his body, I said. You put me inside it. Yes, he replied. While your rich body sleeps in a hospital. I took a step forward. Bring him back. The man's eyes darkened. There is no back. One of the guards moved closer. You will stay like this, the man said. You will live as Uche. You will learn what it means to be ignored. And when I die, I asked. He smiled again. Then justice will be complete. Suddenly, the door burst open. Let him go! It was Emeka. He rushed in, followed by Rita. How did you find us? The man asked calmly. Rita held up her phone. I tracked the car. Emeka stepped in front of me. You are sick, he said to the man. What you are doing is wrong. The man tilted his head. Wrong, he asked. Was it wrong when Sam took food from my brother's mouth? I felt shame burn in my chest. Give him another chance, Rita pleaded. Please. The man looked at me. Would you change? He asked. I opened my mouth. Before I could speak, one of the guards raised his gun. The man's smile faded. Get them, he said. The room exploded into movement. Rita screamed. Emeka pulled her back. The guards rushed forward, and in the chaos, I saw my chance. I ran. I ran toward the door, not knowing where it led, only knowing I had to escape. Behind me, I heard footsteps and shouts. Stop him! My heart pounded as I pushed the door open and stepped into a dark hallway. And just as I thought I was free, a strong hand grabbed my shoulder. The hand on my shoulder was heavy, strong. It pulled me back so hard that I almost fell. I turned fast, my heart jumping into my throat. But it was not one of the guards. It was Emeka. Come, he whispered. This way. Before I could speak, he pulled me down the hallway. We ran past quiet rooms and closed doors. Behind us, I heard angry voices and fast footsteps. They are coming, I said. I know, Emeka replied. We reached a back door and pushed it open. Warm night air hit my face. We ran into a small parking area. Rita was already there, hiding behind a car. Sam, she cried when she saw me. I rushed to her. Are you okay? She nodded, shaking. But before we could move, headlights turned on. A black car blocked the exit. The man in the brown shirt stepped out. You cannot run from this, he said calmly. Emeka stood in front of us. This has gone too far, he said. You made your point. Let him go. The man looked at me. You still do not understand, he said. You think money is the only thing you lost. But you lost trust. You lost people. You lost your soul. His words cut deep. I stepped forward. You are right, I said. I was cruel. I was blind. But killing me will not bring your brother back. He stared at me. I am not killing you, he said. I am letting you live the life you created. A door in the black car opened. Two men brought out a small metal box. What is that? Rita asked. The man smiled. A choice, he said. He opened the box. Inside were two small devices. One keeps your soul in Uchi's body, he said. The other sends it back to Sam's body. My heart jumped. You can choose? Emeka asked. Yes, the man said. But only if Sam proves he has changed. How? I asked. He pointed at Rita. By giving up the one thing you still care about, he said. Your future. I froze. What does that mean? He leaned closer. You will sign over all your company shares to the workers you cheated, he said. You will give up your money, your power, everything. My mind spun. Do it, Rita whispered. Your life matters more. Emeka nodded. We will help you start again. The man waited. I looked at Rita's face. The fear, the hope. I thought of my father in his small workshop, of the man I used to be. I will do it, I said. The man raised an eyebrow. Then sign. A paper was placed in my hand. My fingers trembled as I wrote my name. Sam Badmus. The man took the paper and nodded. You have chosen, he said. He held out the two devices. Which one? He asked. I reached out. Before I could touch either, a loud shout filled the air. Stop! It was security from the building. More men rushed in. The man in brown stepped back. This is not over, he said. He threw something on the ground. A bright light flashed. I closed my eyes. When I opened them, the man was gone. The black car was gone. The devices were gone. Only the signed paper lay on the floor. Rita picked it up. You gave everything away, she whispered. I nodded. What happens now? Emeka asked. I looked at my hands, still rough, still not mine. I don't know, I said. Sirens sounded in the distance. We stood there in the dark parking area, not knowing if I would ever be Sam again. and deep inside I felt something worse than fear. I felt like the real test had only just begun. Thanks for watching. What's your view about this story? Where are you watching from? Do well to let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting stories. Stay blessed.